Welcome back to the channel, guys. Have a beautiful Ford GT500 standing behind me. You Ford guys out there, we've been doing a lot of Ford trucks and cars here recently, and Matt is a local guy, I think little 30 or 45 minutes from Houston, so not far, has multiple vehicles. He has GM and Fords. So this one sitting behind me came to us as a bone stock GT500, one of his weekend toys, wanted more horsepower to it. Let me pop the hood and I'll show you guys what we did to it.
Experience the thrill of unrivaled performance. Our team of experts takes your ride to the next level. From horsepower gains to custom enhancements, we deliver results. Late Model Racecraft. We talking or we racing?
All right, Matt's beautiful 22 GT500. I think it has like right at 11,000 miles on the odometer. For those of you that don't know, the Ford, the GT500 comes with a 2650 supercharger from the factory. We compare it to like the 19 ZR1 or the new Escalade V superchargers. 2650, it's a pretty big supercharger from the factory alone. So guys, we used to call this like our 950 horsepower package. It's like our stage 1 950. Y'all might be asking what's the difference or why do you call it different things. I've always gone off of manufacturers and what they rate their engines at. They say this is a 760 horsepower car. So all my packages, I would say this is gonna be an 800 horsepower car or 900 horsepower package, but every car makes different horsepower numbers from the factory. So moving forward, I might start using just stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and that's for reference for you watching. If you own a GT500, just to give you a reference point that, hey, I saw your stage 1 on this video, it made the kind of horsepower that I like, how much does that cost? And that can just give you a starting point to our sales staff to just get you started in the direction of which way to go. But know that because I say, let's say our 800 horsepower package is one of our most common for the LT4s, that doesn't mean it makes 800 rear wheel horsepower on the dyno graph you get. That is a flywheel number. And again, every car is different. And this is why we'll probably go to stages, because someone in California that gets our 800 horsepower package is going to make less than someone in Texas that gets our 800 horsepower package, simply because he'll be running on 91 octane instead of 93 octane. We have to tune for that and so forth. And this GT500 is no different. This is essentially what we're going to call it our stage 1 package. Is a great starting point. And know that our stages can also be different from other shops' stages. So you might say, hey, how come this shop stage 5 is 30 grand and your stage 5 is $33,000? Know that, guys, again, it's just a reference point. We might not be comparing apples to apples, what parts are actually in it versus what we're doing to the car. So again, it's just reference for y'all to get with our sales staff, and then you'll see exactly what you're gonna get from our different packages. So sorry about that rambling. It's almost a new year and I'm trying to get all of our books and stuff and packages accounted for and accurate for 2026. So I thought I'd bring that up right now. So Ford GT5 owners, GT500 owners out there, our stage 1 package, absolutely incredible. When you talk about horsepower per dollar and what we gain. These are rated at, like I said, I think 670 flywheel horsepower. 760 flywheel horsepower. On our dyno, it made 670 rear wheel horsepower. On pump gas, we made 783, so you're seeing over 100 rear wheel horsepower gain on just pump gas. Then on E85, it made over 900. It made like 905 rear wheel horsepower. 230 rear wheel horsepower more than stock. So you're talking over 300 flywheel. So this 760 turns into 1,000 flywheel horsepower pretty quickly. And the mods, as y'all can see, we first popped the hood, big JLT cold air. supercharger pulley. We run a GripTec upper. And guys, these things from the factory are roughly 13 and a half pounds of boost. For E85 cars, we turn them up to about 16 pounds of boost. We also run an extra idler here, so we have absolutely no belt issues, no belt slip. You get all the boost all the time without having any belt problems. So cold air, upper pulley, the extra idler. Because this customer is running pump gas or E85, we have to have larger injectors in it. We also run aftermarket fuel rails, and we also do what we call like our stage 1 fuel system as far as the fuel pump goes in the tank that feeds the larger injectors and the mechanical as well. So not too many mods for the horsepower that we're gaining, and the customer does have an RTD cable that we give him. Now again, this customer's local. I think he's gonna run on E85 all the time. That's why we have it pulleyed the way it is. But if he ever wants to go out of town, drive from Houston, Oklahoma, he can put this OBD2 port, grab his phone, go from 93 or from E85 to his 93 octane tune, and cruise as far as he wants, and he can switch back and forth. So there are options for that, depending on what you plan on doing with the vehicle. But over 200 rear wheel horsepower gain. Like, these things aren't crazy torque monsters. They're really high revving engines, high RPM, but because of the horsepower it's making, we have to put the Toyo on the back of this thing. So I'm gonna hop in it now. Guys, stock manifold, stock cats, still sounds 100% stock from exhaust, but we're gonna go have some fun. I think second gear it's gonna spin a little bit because it is a little bit colder out, and then it should dead hook in third, fourth, and fifth gear and take off. The way that these things are geared, they're not the best draggy, like 60 to 130 times because of the way that they're geared, but I'm gonna have some fun just so y'all can see how quick this thing accelerates. Once it starts going from like 60, 70 miles an hour, it doesn't stop pulling. So let's go have some fun. We are on Toyos, so you know what? I'm gonna do second gear pull. Still spinning its ass off. God bless. These things don't make a lot of torque, but man, once it starts pulling, it does not stop. Holy crap, DCT transmission, similar to the C8, 7-speed. Holy crap. Yeah, second gear, I have it in track mode. Traction control is off, but it's not fully off. It was spinning the whole way through second gear, even with the Toyos on it. To be honest, I expected it to hook a little bit better than that. But it still, again, once it grabs third, it just takes off and goes. Definitely the Toyo is needed. If you had the factory tires on it, this thing wouldn't stand a chance in the lower gears. And most customers that drive these cars, they're not going from a dig. The DCTs aren't built for drag racing. People do it, but most customers would be cruising down the road like this, going 60. Someone pulls up next to them, downshift it into third. I'd put it into second like I just did right there and stab it. And this thing from, like I said, second gear to 120 miles an hour. If you want to go 150, you can. It accelerates so well. And the way that it's geared, they're longer gears. So again, so it's not about being quick. It's really just, it pulls so hard up top. And again, 8,000 RPMs. So people that don't race their car a lot, if they try to floor it at like 2,000, someone that knows what they're doing is going to jump out on them quite a bit. So you want to be, 5,500, 6,000 RPMs at least when you're playing with a car like this. It's just amazing how much power we gain with the mods that we did to this thing. pulling the tires off, even grabbed third to pull the tires off, and that was still a quick 60 to 130 pull. I let out like a 135. The pull before that, I stayed in it to over 150 just because the way it's geared, it wants to keep pulling to 150. Most people won't go that fast, but on the our LMR proving grounds I have here, I feel safe doing it in this spot. Now, if Matt does want more horsepower in the future, he can bring it back to us. We'll call it like our stage 2 or our stage 3 package. We take the 2650, we do a complete port job on it, larger throttle body, and we upgrade the fuel system even more than we did this go around. We actually put 3 fuel pumps in the tank with the regulator that feeds the aftermarket rails that we already put on it in the injector. So really, he would just need the ported blower, larger throttle body, and more fuel system in the back, and this thing would make well over 1,000 rear wheel horsepower, which is insane. And yes, the stock engine can take it, the stock clutch can take it, transmission as well. We did a twin turbo GT500 that we made well over 1,350 and stopped because the stock clutch can only hold so much. But again, these things at 1,100 rear wheel horsepower, man, they can last all day long with the engine and the clutch. You start going 1,250 plus, that's when the stock engine and the clutch just won't hold. So we try to keep these things 1,050 for most customers is absolutely more than enough. And it still sounds and drives like a stock car. Stock manifold, stock cats, stock mufflers. Sounds absolutely incredible. Let's see here. So just for reference, it was like a 5.6, 60 to 130, 100 to 150 was a 5.4, 5.3. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Again, the way it's geared, I'm not sitting here doing, it's spinning so bad through the gears. If we had a tire on it, it'd be a low 5-second, 60 to 130. And we've built several of these that go well into the 4s. But I'm gonna make one more just because this thing feels so good. So second gear, watch this thing spin. Now it's going. God, it wants to go 150 so bad. It wants to go through 4th gear. And it does not stop pulling. Matt, you're gonna have your hands full. I would start in 3rd gear, making 3rd gear pulls until you get used to it, then try 2nd gear. And if you really wanna try 1st gear, it's your car, do what you want. But you Ford guys out there, please go to our website, or if you know someone that owns a GT500, please share this video with them. Hopefully it'll give them some knowledge of what they could or can do to their GT500 to get more performance out of it. I'd be glad to build it for them. So please share this video. And yeah, Matt, be careful with it. I'm gonna go back to the shop, get it cleaned up, and have him come pick this thing up probably tomorrow. But yeah, those of you that watch the channel, guys, I greatly appreciate it. As always, comment below. I'll try to answer any questions I can. Tuesdays and Thursdays between 5 and 6 o'clock, I'll try to answer as many as possible. So if you have a GT500, have a question about this package in particular, ask away. I'll answer as best I can. Or if it's about any other platforms that we are building or currently building or gonna be building in the future, ask away and I'll answer anything I can. Until next time, guys.